Example 3 is another proof. And of course, we're going to start with the given information. So I'm going to go PQ congruent to ST. And I'm going to go ahead and mark that on here. PQ is congruent to ST. I'm also going to mark that QR is congruent to RT. QR and RT. And R is the midpoint of PS. That is our given information. So that is always the first thing that goes in here. And we're going to go ahead and mark a point here. And then we're going to ask ourselves, what do we know from that point? And that will tell us that this piece is congruent to this piece because of the definition of a midpoint. So now I can say that PR is congruent to SR because of the definition of a midpoint. So PR and SR are congruent. Do I have enough information to do what I'm being asked, which is to prove that the triangles are congruent? And the answer is yes. I can say that triangle PQR is congruent to triangle STR, and that is by side, side, side congruency theorem. That is the side, side, side congruency theorem. Let's look at part B. We have given information that AC is congruent to AD, and we want to mark that on our picture. AC and AD are congruent, and we also know that CB is congruent to BD. We're going to mark that. That is our given information. We have two sides, so we either need the included angles, which would be here and here, or we would need to know the third side. Well, that third side is right here, and hopefully you're starting to get comfortable with this one. AB is congruent to BA, and that is the reflexive property. And we have determined that indeed the triangles are congruent. So triangle ABC is congruent to triangle ABD, and that is by the side, side, side congruency theorem. I want you to get in the habit of putting congruency into these side angle side, 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 side theorems, because we'll have some more theorems coming in at the future that are a little bit different. So make sure we're putting congruency in there. I should have done that on the other examples. Go ahead and pause your video, do the try it, and then come back and check it when you're done. JL is congruent to MN. K is the midpoint of JL N and LM. And that is our given information. And this is a midpoint right here. That's going to help us determine that this and this are congruent, and it's going to help us with this one and this one. But those have to be written down. We cannot assume that someone knows that. We have to use it as part of our proof. So using the fact that that is a midpoint, I need to go ahead and state that LK is congruent to MK. And we're going to say definition of midpoint. And then we also need to say that JK is congruent to NK. Also, definition of a midpoint. I'm going to put those in the same box together. You could separate them if you want. You could separate them. There you go. Do I have enough information? The answer here is yes. I know that triangle JKL is congruent to triangle NKM, and this is by the side congruency theorem.